All right, and this is the Bachelor Pad. Jake, Blaze, Peanut Gallery. Nothing says the Bachelor Pad podcast radio show like having, as I was informed, a 19-year-old instead of, she was a little bit hotter in my world, as 18 and a half or whatever, right? 18th birthday, it's 12:01, right? Woo, you're legal, right? Happy birthday. But eating a cannoli, out of all things, right? Like, it's weird. We're sexually driven people by nature, right? Especially the Jake and Blaze. We notice all kinds of things. We actually see things sometimes that aren't there, right? But I look over and our engineer's girlfriend laying on the couch eating a cannoli and licking the cream out of it, right? So I don't know if it's just me, if it's my mind.
Culinary or sexual? Where do we draw the line?
Yeah.
George Costanza, the sandwich and thing all over again.
Right. So we did actually say that from now on, everything that she eats or
consumes during the show,
phallic shaped, whatever. Now, I do like that was very organic. She did it on her own, right? There's no prompting, no prodding, whatsoever. But she went and grabbed a cannoli and ate it and whatever. So I think that was...
So now we'll be taking hot dog, popsicle donations, anything that you think shape of a penis. We'll take those and address to Corinne, hot dog and hallway woman.
Well, and obviously, if you haven't figured out the Bachelor Pad, we'll state at the beginning of every show, our show is about sex, dating, relationships. We are two confirmed bachelors, either because we choose to or nobody chooses to stay with us long enough after they go, you guys are weird, twisted human beings.
We'll let you guess which one.
That's right. All right, so... last week, this is reality radio. What we do is we will go out of our way. If we want to stay home, I'm tired, I shouldn't go out. This week was my sister's birthday. Love my sister. Sister's a dang fine human being. It's my sister's birthday. Somehow...
And an important birthday at that, the Dirty 30.
It was the Dirty 30,
She's
right?
old now.
She is. She's officially old.
Yeah.
There is no more age discrimination for anyone higher or older than you. So it was a thing, right? I didn't have a birthday party. My sister didn't come to the birthday party, either because I didn't have one or regardless, but I wouldn't have required her presence. I like to hang out with her. I can also hang out with her on a Tuesday.
I'm pretty sure we had the landing strip the day before your birthday, though. Didn't that,
it was the day before my birthday.
Didn't that kind of qualify?
Kind of, sort of, but my brother was in town. My dad's having heart surgery. Let's have a drink.
Right.
All right, Tyler, you're on
Tyler, go
duty.
get the door.
So as we go through the sister's birthday party, right? I've got Pete the Greek, who we will have in studio because there is nothing. Tyler, he is going to kill the levels. You will never be able to get the levels to play.
It's like trying to record Sam Kinison mixed with a baboon. It's wily.
Right. So as we go through the whole thought process of what we're going to do, how we're going to do it. We kind of need to, right? Just for the sake of radio or for the sake of, podcasting. We're actually going to...
The happiness of the general public. Greco needs to be heard.
So the sister's birthday. Pete the Greek calls. I tell him we're not going to go. We're half debating on should we go, should we not. But we decide to, for radio's sake, right? We need some kind of fodder to talk about.
All for you listeners out there.
Okay.
We make tremendous sacrifices.
And the number one reason why we chose to go, and the whole point behind it, is my sister, although I love her, she's a cool chick, she did the sister cock block to me, right? She did the V block. I didn't think she had it in her. I didn't really see it coming. My sister really doesn't want me to date any of her friends, ever. I can kind of get that, right? But we're all adults. I backed my sister when the whole family disagreed with who she was supposed to be dating. Gentleman of a different, nationality.
Yeah, I was dating a black guy. That old bag.
That old thing, right? Just when you thought we were over it and everything was going to be cool, not so much.
Yeah, let your sister date a black guy and tell me that there's no racism in the world.
Great black guy, great family, right? He ended up being a normal guy. It doesn't matter if you were...
Didn't he actually end up with like a double life?
Yeah, but dude, that's actually...
The first life was a good one. I mean, the one that you knew about was good.
But it's actually more of a white guy trait, right?
Sure. Derek.
Yeah, to have a multiple life scheme going on, right?
Right.
I didn't think he had it in him, right?
Yeah, I didn't get it either.
Because you're actually friends with him on Facebook.
Sure.
I don't talk to him when I see him. I kind of want to punch him in the face, but I don't because I'm an adult. And really, it was my sister's choice and whatever, right?
Right.
But anyways, the sister, she V-blocks me, right? I find blonde, cute, nice, sweet, ironically funny, right? Cool chick. I'm like, oh my God. At the time, I was only dating, dancers or waitresses that worked in bars or whatever. So she was a real chick.
Like a real chick, like
right.
a real human, yeah.
Which at some point I do aspire to do. Like, I think if there's one out there or whatever, if somehow I can curtail my behavior to a point.
Statistically, if she is, you won't find her. So,
yeah, no. Yeah. Of course, she's probably out
Indonesia.
looking. She's out looking for somebody right now, and we're sitting here talking to each other in a vapor shop after hours, right?
That's right.
So yeah, this is kind of watching a girl on a couch eat a cannoli, right?
Right.
Because this is what we find entertaining. So I know that my sister's friend is going to be there, right? The one that she V-blocked me with. She's going to be there. A couple other of her cool hot friends are going to be there. It's in Uptown Plymouth, which I like to go back to Plymouth, right? It's the city I'm from. It's kind of swanky and, kind of, I don't even know if the term's yuppie-ish or hipster.
Yeah, you're going to have more people wearing collared shirts than not, I guess.
That's right.
In a way. Or almost exclusively, really. So, I mean, for that little setting.
A little higher class than where we normally hang out, but it's where I'm from, so I like to go back and hang out and do whatever, right? So we decide to go. Greco calls. We get, at the last minute, because I am a thinking man, I invite one of my cool chick friends that is extremely cool and pretty hot, right? You think the Bree's pretty hot?
Right, Bree's pretty hot.
Kind of edgy. I will give you a little brief description. She's like 5'1", gymnasty, has the
nose,
septum, ring, whatever, but yet classy and whatever, right? Like, it's interesting. So I figure I'm going to bring her, right? No ulterior motives other than, hey, anytime you have too much to drink, shenanigans can happen, right? So, hey, we come out, I show her a good time, whatever, shenanigans could happen. Or, if anything, I show up in front of the chick that I wanted to date, my sister V-blocked me and whatever, just to kind of go, look, cool hot chicks hang out with me, right?
It's a thing.
You made a mistake, right? It was your bag. So we go for that reason. The girl in question, we'll call it TK, right? We'll use TK, which I used to F-U TK. That was my saying. Every time my sister would mention her name, I was mad. Now, here was my theory. I knew that I wasn't going to be with her forever, and it was going to be super long-lasting.
The hell you say? It wasn't going to be eternal love?
No, like, everything doesn't really last forever, right? So I went, look, on the off chance, we'll have a lot of fun, a lot of laughs, be some sex involved, few
and
movies.
Some alcohol. Don't forget the alcohol. I like the alcohol.
That's right. Well, she's kind of a mellow chick, doesn't really drink all that much. So it would have been a very good, it would have been a cool break from the everyday of what we normally do. Because as much as Bachelor Pad theory and everything that we have, I'm lazy. I would really like somebody to chill. Like, if I just randomly walked to my house and there was a cool chick and I was like, hey, what's up? How's your day? Awesome. Cool. Let's take the dog for a walk, right? Take the dog for a walk, come back. Maybe we cook some food. Maybe we watch some TV. Maybe we wrestle, right?
Right.
Do it again maybe before we go to sleep. Wake up. Maybe do a light bit of wrestling in the morning, go to work, and then repeat, right? Monday through Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We can go ahead and change up the schedule a little bit, right? Be creative, spontaneous. Other than that, I would like my exact day to go like that every day. I didn't want it to happen what happened last night. Like why we went to Doug's birthday and we're hungover and had work day from hell and whatever.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Not what I necessarily needed. So TK, the lady in question, I'm being nicer to her and I'm taking it slower and being as gentlemanly as possible. Not that I don't when I'm talking to normal girls, but this is my sister's friend, right? So it's sister's friend. I've got to be nicer. I've got to, take it a little bit because I don't want my sister to be, number one, embarrassed.
Yeah,
Number
you got to
two,
dot your I's and cross your T's. You got to do it in the utmost gentlemanly way.
Right? So
follow the code of chivalry.
And it was a good play. Now, not a good nice guys finish last.
Right.
They don't. So as I'm doing this, I'm a couple missed opportunities because you never know, it could have been received. I mean, we were dating and going out a little bit and whatever, but I didn't want to push the envelope, although I wanted to push the envelope.
Right.
If this was the envelope, I would like to push the envelope, but I didn't push the envelope because I attempt to be a gentleman at points, right?
It's really hard to do.
It is. And you saw her last night, or the other night.
Yeah.
Very cute chick, right?
Yeah.
Blonde, cutesy, whatever, right? I don't understand blonde women. I think they're like great white buffalo. I don't understand them. I've never really dated one. I'm like, oh, you seem neat.
Great white buffalo. Great white buffalo. Great white buffalo.
So we get there. we get in, we hang out. We had a fun Uber ride. I think we scared the Asian lady who drove us.
Yeah,
she seemed a little bit freaked out. Just weird conversation, and it was like the movie Blow, and when they were driving into Vegas. Not that we were doing anything and whatever, but the conversation was very similar. We has Johnny Depp and everybody. I don't know if you've seen the movie. If not, rewatch it. It's awesome. So we get there, walk in. First person I see after I give my sister a hug, look over my sister's shoulder. There's TK, and I'm like, oh, there she is, right? So I'm not really mad at her, right? Just, oh, there you are. And so hey, what's going on, right? She makes eye contact, give her a hug. I was like, there you go. I was like, oh, nice to see you. She was like, really? Is it? And I was like, no, I hate your guts. You're a horrible person. She looked at me.
Damn
I was
you,
like,
TK.
Yeah, F you, TK, right? So I was like, no, dude. I was like, no, it's nice to see you, man. Whatever, right? So a bunch of niceties. As we hang out, we have some drinks and, normal bar stuff, right? People, sisters dancing. I'm introducing my friend, my friend with me. Oh, this is so-and-so, so-and-so. So it's neat. And what I do like when you have the female sidekick or, what is it called?
The not co-pilot, but the...
Yeah, why? How does that somehow, out of all the words... God, I can't. Wingman. So the wing lady, right?
Yeah.
So the wing broad was working out excellent because the other people there, my sister's hot friends, the TK, the rest of them, they don't know, is he dating her, is he not, and whatever. So nobody knows, and it's great.
The mystery into the mix. They seem to like the mystery.
They do, and I didn't mention it to any of them either, right? Just do the cordial introduce, whatever. So as we talk throughout the night, TK comes up and, that was weird. How come you haven't talked to me for so long? And why haven't you, why did you, whatever? I was like, I like, look, not kidding at all. I was mad. She was like, why? I went, I don't know, because I was nicer to you because it was my sister. I passed up on a couple opportunities, right? I go, just so you know, I'm not that nice of a guy. I'm only nice when I have to be, right? If there's certain situations in which I have to. Number one, for business. Number two, for you're my sister's friend. You're my sister's friend. So
you're my sister.
That's
you're
Joe
my
Dirt.
sister.
Little Joe Dirt reference, Joe Dirte. So I tell her this, and she's like, what? And I went, are you kidding me? I was like, seriously. I go, the guy you were with, okay, and the guy that she did hook up with, I took a trip to Texas. I was at your house. She calls me, and it was a spur of the moment. I don't know why I went down there, spur of the moment. But I'm at your house, and I get, hey, let's go to a movie on Saturday. Like, I just flew into Texas on Thursday. Let's go to a movie on Saturday. I was like, oh, I'm not going to be back until like Tuesday, right? This sucks, but I'll be more than happy. Let's go see a matinee. Like, yay, let's go do something, right? I wanted to be around her. Oh, okay. I look on Facebook at the movies with Sam so-and-so. Guess who dated her for 9 months? Sam so-and-so. I knew that Sam wasn't going to be the guy because Sam has huge teeth. There are girls in the, peanut gallery. She doesn't know. She dates
She's
Tyler. She's fine. But we've got other two in the peanut gallery, right? But you can't fall in love with a dude who has big, honking teeth, right? It's off-putting. He can be nice. He can be sweet. But every time you smile, you're staring into eternity, glaring back at you in these gigantic, Bucky Beaver teeth. He was a nice guy, and he was a good guy. He bought her season tickets to the doggone Tigers, right? Good guy. I would probably date the guy, right? I would probably...
You regular?
For the Tiger season tickets, maybe we do a little heavy petting. I don't know, right? See how long I can stretch that one out.
Dutch rudder doesn't make...
That's right. Dutch rudder, it's hands and elbows. It's fine. So I knew that he wasn't going to be the guy. I was like, there's absolutely no way he's going to be the guy. So now I'm upset because he's just going to be a transitional guy, right? He's going to get 3, 6, 9 months.
He's a holding card, I guess
right.
I should say. Yeah.
I would have liked to have been that. That would have been 9 months of some movies, some cuddling, going to looking at whatever girls make you do, let's go look at the Christmas lights, right? I could be down for that.
Yeah,
maybe
but
some
you're
hot
also
cocoa and sex.
you're overlooking the thousands of complaints that would ensue throughout that process. I mean, there is a...
Yeah, well, here's the deal. She was kind of fun, right? I don't like girls, really.
They all are for the first couple months, right? You can pretend you're something you're not for quite a while, I guess, but eventually you become an annoying, nagging demon woman succubus, eventually.
Yeah, no, for sure. But right about that point, I'd have been ready to get out, or she'd have been get rid of her.
The holding card is done. Time to go find Mr. Right.
And I would have liked that versus the normal. I needed a break. And she was normal. I wanted to see if I could do normal again and work that process out. So that was kind of the deal, right? So I explained this to her. She seems baffled by it and somewhat flattered-ish, whatever, right? So she follows me into the hallway by the bathroom where I have this conversation. And then I figure that it's much better with an acting out physical representation of, like, I'm not that nice of a guy. And I was like, you remember Applebee's? When we went to Applebee's and we were standing out and it was do I grab her and kiss her and do whatever? And hey, what are we doing after this? Like, let's quit playing patty cake, and I'm like, forget my sister, right? She can be mad at me. She's my sister. She'll eventually get over it, right? And then I went, no, it's my baby sister. I don't wanna, I've had a good stretch of her not really being mad at me. She's one of the only females in my life who hasn't. Like, mom gets mad quite a bit. Little sister still thinks I'm a good human being, right? So I backed off. And I went, you remember what we were doing in the whatever? And I go, you wanna know how it would have gone down if you weren't my sister's friend and you didn't work with her? Hey, blah, blah, blah. I walked across, and it was weird, and it was awkward as all get out, because I walked across, I reached over and I grabbed her hand, and she's standing in the hallway, like against the wall. I grabbed her hand and I was like, Applebee's good. This was nice. What are we doing here? What's going on? Whatever. I grabbed her hand, and touched her on the hip, pulled her close to me like I was going in for a kiss. The sheer look of like, oh my God, panic or whatever, which is, I guess, what they try and display in the movies with the Gone with the Wind and whatever, with the romantic, like, whatever. It wasn't romantic. It was just like, okay, you're either going to kiss me or not, or I'm going to go to the bar with my friends. Like, either we're going to do something or we're not. Time to go. And I did this, and I grabbed her and almost leaned in and whatever, and stopped. And I went, that's what the end of the night at Applebee's would have been a little bit more like. And then you go ahead and chart the course, from that. And she was like, she looked at me a little bit frustrated and flustery and went, yeah, your sister's a jerk. And I went, exactly, right? I was like,
sister's a jerk. Now she's an old jerk.
And we went, yeah, we'll just blame it on her. So throughout that night, though, so that was the main reason. So I got to get a little, not even revenge, but maybe vocalize and whatever. And you know as well as I do in this world that now that it has been vocalized and whatever, if I happen to see her again out, ha ha ha, make a little reference, like grab her hand and be like, oh, I got this Applebee's feeling in me right now, ha ha, she has too many drinks, maybe we kiss, maybe we make out, maybe we act like high school kids and have sex in the back of the car. I don't know. But it's all there. At least that was done. There was a bit of shenanigan closure. And I told her that, you're not going to be with this guy. He's not the guy. And I was like, dude, his teeth were incredibly big. You had to have known it. If you didn't know it, like, that's whatever. And of course, her name isn't that. TK, whatever. It was good. So we went, that was had. Conversation was fun. Had fun with little Bree. Everything. It was a cool night. You don't remember a good portion of it because you were not allowed in the bars in which we went.
And when we come back after this quick break, we'll discuss why I wasn't allowed in the bar and the shenanigans that ensued. From my part of the story is Jake got to have fun with all the attractive.
Yeah, no, I had a wonderful night.
We'll be back after this short message from our sponsor.
All right, Bachelor Pad. Jake, Blazer, girl who says she's doing nothing, who eats cannoli suggestively on the couch. And we're back. All right, and we were going into the sisters' night. We hit a few cool keywords and terms. The V block, the girl version of the cock block, right? The V block. It happens. It's real. Generally, it doesn't always happen.
But it occurs more in family than anything else, really.
Well, you were kind of cool with it. You let me date your cousin,
right?
You actually helped move it along, which was neat.
Sure. Until we got to drinking heavily and didn't want to go to bed.
Yeah, that was kind of creepy.
I would have watched.
I think we were doing things under the blanket, the old blanket trick. And you came in and sat down and hung out with us, and you sat down, hung out with us, did X, Y, and Z, and I was like, why? We were kind of mumbling to each other, like, what is happening?
I was still drinking, I'm half Irish, half Scottish. We like our booze and keep going on, and it seems to be one of my vices. But on the Dirty 30, sister's birthday night, I went out and I've technically quit cigarettes like 6-7 months ago. Did whatever vaping, but intermittently whenever I go out drinking, I like them. I went outside for a cigarette with Greco, Crazy Wiley man. I think I may have had two. I'm a bit of a chain smoker whenever I do it. But my second cigarette, and these three very nice, put together, attractive women pose for a selfie on like a temporary fence, and they're leaning up against it, and it knocks it over. And I help them up because I'm a fucking gentleman. So
That's the truth.
So I'm helping up, and the bouncer comes outside, and I didn't think anything of it. I'm just, no, they fell. I'm helping them up, doing whatever. Try and walk inside the bar. He's like, no, you can't come in. You're too intoxicated. Mind you, I'm on my third or fourth drink there. Maybe I had 3 or 4 before we went out. So
of course,
I'm at a BA. I'm an expert now in blood alcohol content as per recent issues. But my BAC level was right around a .08. All right, look, if I'm on the border of driving, I should be fine to walk into your bar that serves the alcohol.
Mind you, was that the first bar we were at?
The very first bar. I never made it to the second because I never got in. So anyway, after that, and mind you, I'm wearing flip-flops because I'm a moron, and it's 45 degrees outside, good gusts of wind, and kind of cold. I'm like, all right, fine. Well, these people, I'm going to go to another bar. Me and Greco walk around the corner, go to another one, and he says I can't come in with flip-flops. So I was pretty upset at that point. I walked around in circles and realized there's still an hour left, and I'd probably get hypothermia.
Yeah, what did you do? Where did you go? Did you get into said bar? Any bar?
No, Greco got into that bar. He walked in before me. So he didn't know I was drinking, so I sat outside that bar waiting for him to recognize it, and then at some point I realized he knows I'm not there. He's just still drinking.
Well, yeah.
And so then I mumbled around and looked for other bars, and it was like 1:15, and I've got a fully stocked bar at the house because we live in a bachelor pad. So I took an Uber home. I waited the 15 minutes for the Uber to go there, and I went home. I didn't
see.
have
These are the things that I lost in the evening. Like I kind of knew you weren't around. I thought maybe you guys were at the other bar. I wasn't thinking to text. I was too busy with TK and then my sister's other sneaky hot friend who is really conservative and Johnny on the spot, good girl, like good girl, but really hot good girl. And she kind of cut loose, and I was like, like, who are you? Like, what is this, right? And I was like, great. Why do I even try?
I started to see it. I had to leave. Like, I left for the cigarette break, like, right as everyone was getting, familiarized and loosened and kind of in the party atmosphere, and which was like, I'm gonna go have a cigarette and come back, and no.
That's the universe saying, quit smoking, right, Mr. I'm a vapor. I own a vapor shop, and but I'm gonna go have smoke, right? That's what happens. That's the universe. Just like the universe today when you went out and drank last night, right? It's Doug's birthday. You're going to go and be a good guy. Go in, have a bite to eat and a drink, right? 6 hours later, you're wasted. You're stumbling around the kitchen, right? Guess what?
The world doesn't like hypocrites. It seems to punish it.
No, it doesn't. Well, and today's a good. I know. We're going to transition from from this. That was kind of a mild story, right? And you go, he's Bachelor Pad yahoos, right? Oh, they drink a little bit. Oh, and wah. Your sister cockblocked you with her vagina, right? Wah. We're going to go into what happened 2 weeks ago, which is probably the purest example of what we do, why we exist, and a life
how we hold this philosophy of bachelorhood together in a reasonable sense for eternity, if you will, for the rest of our lives of having a heartbeat.
Right. So here we are we're going to go into this is the real deal and the real story, right? Of how we get down, what happens, why this night is bizarre for us on many, many levels.
It felt very much like home Denton stuff from back in the old hooligan days. Shout out to hooligans of Denton, Texas.
There we go.
Listening. I used to be a bartender. We didn't get it done cleaning and stuff till 4 o'clock in the morning, and so we'd have an after party. And there was, probably 9 to 10 waitresses on staff. 5 or 6 of them working on a Friday night, and then you've got the day shifts and whatever. So we had a good turnover of waitresses. And what else do you do when you work that schedule? When you're done with work at 4 o'clock in the morning and you work at 3 or 4 p.m. What else do you do? So you drink till sunlight. And we used to do that over there, but we had that was my first Michigan experience of drinking in daylight, I guess.
No, there's very, very good drinkings in the in the Michigan realm, and I used to last year. The stores were running good. I've managed strip clubs in the past, right? Bazooki 2. I've worked in a couple. Gotta like the atmosphere. Nipple flavored air is better than regular air, I like to believe.
Of course.
Right? Feel that it does something with the oxygenation and the, just the levels in the room. So I'm working there. I made friends. Now, part of it was cool because it was good extra money, naked girls, and a cool cool bunch of friends that you make, coworker wise.
Right.
Okay. And most of them female, right? There's only like 4 or 5 guys that work there between bouncers, bar back, and the managers. Everybody else is female. So why not, right? When your overall existence revolves around the ladies, why not go to where they are and work amongst them, infiltrate, right?
Infiltrate their society, and yeah.
And I call it the slow play, right? The slow play. It helps when you work in a place, or you've got friends, you go to the same place on a regular basis, and eventually, everyone gets comfortable, right? Comfortable is the term that I've heard way too many girls use lately, where it's a deciding factor of, I would like to mess around, or I would like to hook up. You seem pretty cool, but I'm not that comfortable. And then, oh my God, I feel so comfortable with you. And then you just happen to go into the fridge to get a beer and you're getting a blowy, right? So comfortable, keyword, right? Like we need just a black shirt with comfortable. Right? It's a thing. She looks pretty comfortable over there, but only with Tyler. That's the way God intended it. And cannolis. And weird phallic symboled food items. But, okay, so what was the reason for being out that night? Was it just a random, because everything's still foggy to me. I don't know what our point was. Was it just a random night? Were we talking about business? What were we doing?
I don't think we had any clear objective. I think it was just the harassment from the staff of the landing strip.
You need to come up and get here or whatever.
Don't be gay, come here, have a drink.
We get FaceTime by the manager and get heckled and whatever.
So we were.
So we go there. The drinking there seemed about normal. I don't think we got too absurd because we haven't rung up an epic bar tab or anything super stupid lately.
No. We haven't had any fridge hangers as of
where you just put it on display look at what we did. Oh, yeah. Right? Like when your dog eats your couch and then you shame him with the "my dog's a dick" tag and put it on, put posters up around the house or. So I don't know why we were there. We drank, and then the one question throughout the night, just what are you doing later? Do you want to hang out and drink later? Now, mind you, we were asked by 2 very attractive, very cool chicks, right? Sam, Ariel.
Right.
They decide, hey, you guys want to drink and whatever. So not being presumptuous, but on the off chance we could drink a lot and shenanigans could happen, or they could not. Right. I don't believe. I think Ariel is. She's a weird Rubik's cube of lady. Right. You don't know. I wouldn't even know how that would go down or whatever. But she is attractive. I'd like to. She's neat. I'd like to pet her and whatever. She's a ginger, but a really hot ginger. Right. So and then Sam is the complete polar opposite, who is dark tanned. Tropical, whatever,
khaki, whatever
that tan, I'm tan year round or whatever. So cool, we're hanging out with 2, and it was the first time any of them have been back to this house. All right, so they come back to the house. I remember driving back, kind of everything from when we left the bar got a little hazy. So everything that we're going to reference is from Snapchat because I didn't have any recollection. I woke up with a gigantic question mark.
I remember some of the bits and pieces. It was only when you mentioned that we were here at the Vapor Shop / broadcast studio that it kind of came back and was oh yeah, I do remember doing that and search for. Just to give you guys a rough timeline of it, we got out of the club at around 3:00 in the morning, back to the house by 3:30. Set up a beer pong table down in the basement. I have set up a bar down there, made 2 drinks, and then all of a sudden we need Dixie cups or solo cups. For the beer pong thing, and then ran out, got those, and then realized we didn't have ping pong balls, so that's why we came up to the shop, because we have a ping pong table at the shop. And what was the timestamp on that?
It was 6:30 in the morning. Now, mind you, when I woke up with the worst hangover in life, right, I roll over, and this is, so basically if it was done in movie, and Tyler, you're a movie guy, right? So if you're doing a timeline, it would be leave the bar, drive, and then fading memory. Everything gets foggy, right? So everything gets foggy. Next thing I know, there's bits and pieces. I do flashes of, there was beer pong. There was my dog being a dick, right? Because that's what he does. And there were weird, little snippets, but not enough to actually make sense out of. And then wake up in your bed, look at your lady friend next to you and go, haha, that's neat. Wow, I wonder if we did anything. I'm really not 100% certain. That's crazy. Oh my God, my head hurts. Why do I feel it felt as if somebody had stabbed me with a fence post through one part of my head and it was coming out of my neck. I've never felt hangover death pain quite that manner before.
And that's why God made breakfast shots, because as soon as I woke up on the couch missing a couple articles of clothing, having no idea you accused me of stealing the top of the toilet, the little toilet hatch, the upper decker, cap thing. And
well, who goes to bed and locks your dogs out purposefully because there could have been wrestling or not wrestling? I really can't, say one way or the other. I mean, there's pretty strong probability there was some wrestling going on. Not sure how good I was at it, because I think I would have had a hard time peeing at that point, let alone using my member for anything. Yeah, right. So there's no sense there's no telling what I could have possibly done with that level of intoxication. So waking up having everything. So if we hit pause right there. When we talked about it, you went and got breakfast shots because you said, hey, Jake, that'll make you feel better. Hey, right, take this. My question to you was, why the F is the top of the toilet on my dresser?
The question was, why did you steal the top of the toilet? And we didn't think it was on your dresser at that time.
No, I saw it in my dresser first. Like, as I got up out of my room, I looked and was like, why are there dogs in my room? Right? Because I know I locked them out because there was a lady in there with me, right? Just common courtesy. And I'm ticklish back there. I don't want Scoob's nose getting somewhere it's supposed to not to be. So as I stand up and go, my head hurts, why are there all the dogs in my room? And then why is the top of my toilet there? So in my mind, Travis did this. Of course, because who else would do it but Travis? Not my brother, right? My brother's an upstanding human being. He wouldn't do it. I asked you, and you looked at me like, why are you asking me? And I'm like, what do you mean, why am I asking you?
Well, I thought you told me to look for it. I was like scurrying or bumbling around the house like a pinball trying to find the top of the toilet. I noticed, I don't know, maybe I ate it. I have no idea. You say I had it, I guess I ate the toilet. I don't know. We got to get ourselves into it.
I've seen you pee in a hallway for no apparent reason, like shit in a potted plant. I've seen you do some things. So the fact that you've taken, you're like a big house cat. You're like one of those, I'm not really a puma, but I'm not a house cat. I'm that weird hybrid that you're like, the hell is that? Why do you have like a panther walking around your house? And it would just walk over and crap in a potted plant because it's a goddamn, panther. Yeah, it's a panther cat thing or whatever it is, right? So at that point, I as we're talking, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so hungover. What the fuck is happening in my life? Whatever. So I grab my phone and I look at Snapchat, right? Because I'm a big fan of Snapchat. As far as I'm concerned, Facebook can F off. I'm over it. It's driving me nuts. I think they're controlling my brain. There's something going on. I talk about this. I like pooping in a potted plant. It'll show up on my timeline in like 2 minutes. They're on to me. Hey, freak out your friends with fake potted poop. Whatever, I don't know. That was a whole lot of peace. So I look through Snapchat and I look and I'm like, because I looked around and I was like, there's no Ariel. Wonder what happened to Ariel. Because I really don't have any recollection.
Yeah, she disappeared at some point during the fog.
Come to find out, she passed out in the bathroom, whatever. So she, if we were playing Clue, she'd be
the one to blame.
Professor so-and-so with the candlestick, right? Because she was in there last. And maybe she came in and saw Sam and I laying there, let the dogs in, was mad and went, here's your toilet, your commode, or she just brought me to, look at, which button do I push, 1 or 2 for vomit? What is this? I don't know, right?
We do have the house rule of, look, if you do number 1, you push the 1 button, you got to.
If we find out you're hitting number 2 for 1 or 1 for 2,
that's right.
You're going to get escorted out of the house.
She could have very well brought it. Where's vomit?
Yeah, there's no V button on here.
We got to add in a third toggle now.
No, we really should. Or we'll just put like a little leaflet up there to kind of figure it out. So I look through Snapchat and I start seeing things and I'm like, Sam is mooning out of the side of the car. She's mooning out of the side of the car and you're like at the side of the house. And I was like, when did this happen? Like she's literally has her pants down and mooning you out the window. And I went, that's weird. Hey. So I went, that's neat. Go on to the next one. Us beer pong or whatever. And I went, beer pong. Okay, yeah. Then random other snaps. And then I see the inside of our retail location that was stamped at 6:34 in the morning. And I first went, what were those bitches doing at my store? I was like, dude, they stole my keys. Am I gonna go in there? Stuff's gonna be missing. What's happening? I hit the thing and freeze it. You hold your thumb on it and it freezes. And I look, I see me in the background, which is kind of friggin' surreal when you're hungover and it feels like you've got a pole stuck through your head, eh? And I'm like, what the? And I'm like, I'm there. what the hell was I doing at my store? And I'm like, oh no. Like, it's okay to like
the
maybe...
store opened like an hour before we woke up, I think, or something. The store was already...
Oh yeah, the store's already open and running. I was like, oh my God, what could we have possibly done in the store? And then little pieces, like every time a Snapchat came up, little pieces of what we did the night before, like, oh, we were there. We drank a lot. How much did we drink? Like, oh, what? They were laying on the ping pong table. What is... I was like, I hope the ping pong table isn't broken. I was like, oh, Shane's going to be mad at me when he walks in there and sees, like, what kind... Oh, there's no telling what we did. Nobody was paying attention to what Blazer was doing. God dang it, right? Like, so I see this. So we're starting to put the night together. You bring in breakfast shots into my bedroom. Boom, you bring in breakfast shots. We have them, which are awesome, right? Jameson, orange juice, and butter shots.
Tastes like waffles. It's the greatest thing when your head's splitting. If you are a subscriber to the Hair of the Dog, that is the best thing for you. You do it, it tastes like waffles, and your hangover slightly subsides, unless, of course, you walk across the street to the bar and continue.
Oh, and then we get the cry from Sam, I need hummus, right? I need hummus now. And I'm like, okay, pretty lady laying in my bed, you need hummus. The avenue's across the street. I will say in my hungover state, I was really quick with answers. Like, wow, we need this and that. We've Carl's Arabic. He owns the Avenue, right? Great food. Avenue Bistro, Michigan Avenue, corner of Elizabeth and Michigan. So I'm like, dude, you know what? Let's walk across the street. Let's get Sam hummus. Not 100% certain, but she may have let me touch her butt last night. I don't know. If worst case scenario, there was a rollover hug, right?
Right.
I'm going to go with that.
That deserves some hummus.
Something that will get you hummus in my world, right? So we get up, hungover, had a couple breakfast shots, and we're giggling because we're still wasted, and we're all talking because we have to walk down the alley 1 block and then across the street 1 block, and we're at the Avenue. So we walk in. You're trying to convince us that we need to drink more, right? As we get there.
I didn't want to fade back into the horrible realm of hangover. I was still crotch when I woke up. I was still difficulty to walk a straight line up.
Oh yeah, no, it was.
I just wanted to power on through. I didn't want to cross back over.
It was very similar to the movie Stand By Me, where they're walking down the railroad tracks and they're trying to balance on the rail and like teeter-tottering back and forth. But we were on solid ground, and we're adults. We're not 9, and we just saw a dead body or whatever, right? So it was weird as we're walking, and because in the neighborhood we live in an all Irish neighborhood, living with people that that I've known forever. You know, we've got 3 or 4 Irish families where their parents had houses there, they have houses there. Some of them their grandparents had houses, so we know like 38 people, right? Standing in front of the house, Ricky Turk drove by. I talked to Turk. G pulls up behind him. I'm like, dude, what is this? This is bizarre. You know, there's like 15 people in the neighborhood that if I go out in the front, I see. So as we're driving down as we're walking or bumbling down the alley, as we're rumble stumbling down the alley, our buddy Matt pulls up.
Yeah, that's right. I do. I forgot Matt.
Yep. See, right? Like, there's still parts that are missing. So he gives me the Jakester, and I went, Anyway, you text me about red Solo cups at like 4:30 in the morning, and I went, was that code? And I went, code? What could that be code for? I don't know. This is code? And I went, oh, I did, didn't I? I go, yeah, we needed Solo cups. He was like, huh? He looked over at Sam and went, oh. He goes, how about next time you call me ahead of time and said, before you're blacked out and, looking for Solo cups. And I was like, Maddie, sorry, wasn't really thinking about you I don't remember much from last night, but thanks for taking the call, right? So we talk, where are you going? We're going to the Avenue. He was like, Hair of the Dog, turn left. That was it, right? So we walk across, we sit in, we get hummus for the Sam. Now we walk into a bar at 12 noon on was it a Sunday or Saturday? Sunday?
Saturday, because I called John. John had to call me drunk.
On a Saturday at 12 noon, most people are stopping in, grabbing a burger, maybe a beer, family, let's go to the nice little, American bistro that happens to be a bar. We walk in. Schnockered is an understatement. Do you know how much we drank when we were there? We spent $140-some on hummus and shots at 12 noon. When, mind you, we went to bed at 9:30, right? I did a time lapse of everything from the last Snapchat and whatever. So we went to bed at 9:30. We were up at 11:30. Went to the bar, started drinking. I do our favorite, one of the Bachelor Pad favorite show or favorite movies is Don't Mess with the Zohan, right? Adam Sandler, good man, many funnies. We could recite the majority of the movie verbatim, and maybe we'll do that for you one evening. Yes, we forced you to, Cannoli Lady, we forced you to watch it. You didn't find it nearly as funny as we could, or as we thought you should.
I watched it last night.
Did you rewatch it?
Yeah.
Was it funnier this time? There we go.
Yeah.
This is good.
Yeah, maybe you're just a little creeped out being in a living room with me, Travis, and Scoop.
I just want to make the world silky smooth.
There we go. The peanut gallery chimes in. So, at one point, as hummus, right? We're talking about hummus. We're in about 4 or 5 shots. I profess I am wasted again, or even more than I was. F my life. What is happening with what am I doing with my freedom, right? So somebody said hummus one too many times. You made a Zohan reference. So at the point when the dad, he mixes the hummus in the coffee, he does whatever. He takes his glasses, folds one side, and sticks the hummus in there and continues the conversation while eating hummus.
Spooning the hummus with the glasses.
Yeah, so I take the glasses off, I stick them in with the hummus, flip it in the mouth, I begin to eat the hummus. You almost fall off your bar stool laughing and dying or whatever, right?
That made me happy.
So we realize at some point that we're really, really wasted. We should probably go. Mike, the manager from the club, FaceTimes me, which he always does. And I'm holding it up so he sees all of us stumbling, walking, whatever. And he's like, hey, where are you guys at? How you guys feeling from last night? I was like, I have no idea, Mike.
We're in Canada. Can you send someone to get us?
We're in Canada. I have no idea how the F we got here. I don't know if we're coming back. Canada, oh, Canada. Mind you, we're walking down Michigan Avenue, stumbling, have to be a spectacle. We only had like 120 of like road frontage that we had to walk before we turn and go in the alley, but it had to have been comical one way or another that we looked at it. So we tell him this, and then I just hang up on him. So as far as Mike knows, we're really in Canada, right? We just, screw you, Mike, we're in Canada. Sam's not coming to work. Not coming to work, Mike. I'm in Canada. And then hang up, right? So that was good. So as we turn down the alley, here comes an ice cream truck.
That was on the way out.
Yeah, no, we're out. We're already out of the bar. We're out of the bar. We were only there for like 35 minutes, an hour that we actually drank inside the joint. So as we get out and we're this and that, we cross the street. We're so wasted that an ice cream truck pulls up. I immediately look at it and go, ha, that looks like the ice cream truck from Shameless. The one that they sold weed out of.
They broke down.
Oh yeah, actually they were at a slow roll. And ironically, the guy was driving in a Shameless and all of Shameless fashion. The guy's driving and the pretty girlfriend is pushing the ice cream truck.
Yeah.
So I start screaming, "Are you the ice cream truck from Shameless? Do you sell the weeds?" Ha ha ha.
I believe your expression was, Blazer, go push the Shameless truck.
They'll probably smoke weed with you. It's the Shameless ice cream mobile. So you just went, screw
Kicked
it.
off the flip-flops, barefooted, push that big.
Sam falls over in the grass and starts to make snow angels in the grass, and I'm wasted. Actually, he said some other things, but
FCC,
witness protection, right? So as you're pushing it, right, and I'm laughing, I'm just like, what is happening? I think I Snapchatted or something.
I've got to admit, I pushed that thing like a mighty lineman. I made good time with that up the hill and everything.
No, you did excellent. And then the guy gets out and goes, "Hey,
you smoke?
You want to smoke some weed?" And I went, I knew it. I'm a good judge of character and ice cream trucks. There could have been a million ice cream trucks we could have encountered. You are the one that sells the weed or smokes the weed. Or maybe that's a job for super stoners where you just go, you know what?
I'm going to drive an ice cream.
I'm going to drive an ice cream truck. I like ice cream. I like that little tune it's playing. And I could probably peddle the weeds, right? Or I could just smoke the weeds and feel good about my life that I make people when they're hot and sweaty, they get ice cream. I don't know.
Right.
Or cannoli. So, hot dog down the hallway. So what was it? So we do that. We giggle. We laugh. We walk back to the house, and this is where it gets creepy for me because I do have a little bit of memory from this point. So as we get to the house, we walk in, we're wasted again, like horribly wasted. So as we get in the house, Sam grabs my hand, and almost as the house was tilted, like we're walking downhill. This is how, I don't know if you've ever been that intoxicated as you're walking down, like just falling frontwards. I don't know why my feet are not holding me up. Walk all the way down. She's like, grabs my, I figure, right? And this is where Jake is a bit naive on occasion, where I just blah, 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 fall into my bed, right? Lay in the bed. Now, we did wrestle at that point, right? We did wrestle. And if it's any indication of how the wrestling happened 8 hours or 5 hours earlier, it was not pretty on my behalf, right? It was not. I know I was very passionate and petting and whatever. Still fairly certain the pee-pee was good for nothing, not even urinating, right? I should have had a catheter at that point, right? It was literally like slinky dink or whatever, like slinky. Horrible. Should have never attempted it. Actually, I wouldn't have attempted it. I would have been happy to lay there and just sleep.
These future episodes will be brought to you by Viagra.
Not just a little blue diamond.
It's a lifesaver. Don't get 2 chances at a first impression.
That's right. I probably would have died of that.
This not a heart attack.
Yeah.
This is it. This is how I always knew it was going to end.
Absolutely nothing. Well, then, in that time frame, my sister came to the house, right? So I guess my sister was there with Roxy.
She had to pick up Brett because my Uber malfunctioned to charge me $286 to try and send her brother to the airport.
So that's a normal night. Now, mind you, after that, it was, oh my God, and there was like 3 hours of attempted shenanigans, which I'm fairly certain, from what I do recall, not a whole lot of shenanigans. There may have been like 5 minutes of shenanigans and then wonk, wonk, wonk.
You may want to shave it. It looks like it's suffocating.
And then 3 or 4 shenanigans. It just lays there. It does nothing. Help. So that happened. Kind of creepy that my sister and my brother and whatever, and I'm in a drunken stupor, probably licking a girl's face and trying to make sticky, so that was weird. Finally, hey, I gotta get up. I'm gonna get in trouble if I'm late. If you go with me, we won't get in trouble. And I went, that's a great theory, but I shouldn't drive. I can barely walk. You saw my penis doesn't work 100% after drinking for 12 to 14 straight hours, right? I think I have to pee. Wouldn't know. Nothing's coming in or
it
out.
lays down in there all day.
Something may be stuck in there, like a bead from a necklace, like one of those little necklace string beads. There might be something stuck in there. I don't know. Yeah, there's
got a rebellious fetus. He's got a gold tooth in there now, blocking the flow.
I don't know what was happening, but I can neither confirm or deny. Doesn't seem like it was pretty, right? So then I called Doug, right? Who will maybe not. It'll probably be the episode that follows this, where we talk about Doug's birthday. We go up just to have the one. Which
was last night. It was tonight's.
Which we're doing.
Today's hangover is brought to you by Doug's birthday.
By Doug's birthday, and Bree biting me like a baby piranha. Another chick friend, gay. So that's a typical bizarre evening of blackout.